All right. Now let's see. Are we live? Are we good? Do we have a thumbs up? Welcome everyone to the Startup Weekend COVID-19 Germany 2020. Let's get a virtual high five going on for everyone watching. Very nice. Hey, welcome in. I think it's 6:04 now. We've just started a little bit later, so apologies for that. The org team were just getting everything together and just checking the tech. But it's very good to have you tuned in with us. Thank you very much for making the time. As far as I'm aware, I know that this is being recorded, so we can play this over and over again. So if you miss it this time, jump back onto the video and we'll link you back in. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's Tuesday, 14th of April. It's sunny outside. I'm dialing in from Berlin. And it's great to be able to host an AMA session. Basically open it up to anyone who has any questions, participants, mentors, those who know about Startup Weekend, to have them here with us today. It's quite exciting. My name is Lingy, from New Zealand, but currently living in sunny Berlin. And my startup journey basically came through when I joined Startup Weekend, this crazy thing called Startup Weekend, that is from Techstars, a company that runs accelerators and incubation programs in the US. They've basically opened up a whole bunch of different chapters around the world and created a movement. And what they did was they created something called Startup Weekend. Essentially, it's a 54-hour hackathon where you have people who have design backgrounds, business backgrounds, developer backgrounds, to come together to solve issues and problems in this world in a 54-hour intensive environment, surrounded by the best mentors around, those who are able to coach you and provide some type of infrastructure and support to help you push those ideas along. That's essentially what Startup Weekend is. Those who have signed up may have done it once, twice, thrice, 10 times before. So it's very nice to have you along. With the current situation and where the world is, it's very tricky times to be able to be outside. Coronavirus has hit at an unprecedented pace, and it has kept the majority of the globe inside and having the social distance aspect. So it's a little bit trickier to run a weekend like you normally would, where you are all sitting in a room, where you all gather around, and social distancing is usually not a problem. So with this event coming up, everything is going to be done online. So what we're going to do today with this AMA is go through a couple of things. One, frame up what it is that we're actually doing. What have you actually signed up for? Another is to introduce the team behind this from Germany. It's great that we have leaders, the community leaders that are around Germany currently, and they have put their time and effort to be able to prep an awesome weekend ahead for you. So we'll get them along too. Another one is go through a bit of the schedule. What is it that we're expecting for those who have signed up throughout this week? So we're at Tuesday currently. What's going to happen Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through to the kickoff on Friday night, hopefully after work for those who are still working, on to Saturday and then Sunday as well. How does team forming work? All of these questions around, how does mentorship work? All the way through to what tech platforms are we actually using throughout the weekend? So all of that information is coming up soon. But what I thought we would do is introduce a couple of faces around first and get me off the screen so we can meet some of our awesome community leaders who are in this call with me. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Christian just to explain a little bit about who he is, where he's from, and what he's most excited about taking part in this event. Christian.
Yes, thank you so much, Lingy. I welcome every one of you. It is so great to have you here. Startup Weekend is a very unique experience, also doing this all online. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I think it's new for all of us to do it in this format. My name is Christian Jens. I've been doing some startup weekends. I do facilitate startup weekends for quite a while now, and it's going to be very exciting to see all of you. So lots of ideas. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, put it into the chat, put it into Discord. Ping us, germany@startupweekend.org if you can't use any other platform. And with this, I give it to Kathleen. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Christian, and thanks, Lingy, for the introduction. I'm Kathleen. I'm based in Berlin as well. I have been part of the Startup Weekend community for quite some time. I participated at one of the first ones in Germany, in Stuttgart, many, many years ago. And I'm super excited to be part of this super cool team to get this online startup weekend happening. It's the first one for all of us, for the whole startup weekend community. I'm really, really excited to see where this is going, to have you all involved, to present and work on your ideas. And yeah, let's get started. I can't wait until Friday. And I give it over to Johannes.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'm Johannes, but feel free to call me Yo-Yo. I'm coming from the Munich community from Startup Weekend. I've been involved as a participant and organizer for 2.5 years now. Our event, as many others, was cancelled due to Corona, was scheduled for May. So it was an easy decision to jump on the train and help the whole nationwide community out to create Startup Weekend Germany COVID-19. My role will be the mentor lead. So if you have any questions about mentoring, feel free to reach out to me. And with that, I'll pass on to Mario.
Hi, I'm Mario. So originally from Italy, but since a while adopted by Germany, in particular in Berlin, the city where I live. I mean, I also in the Startup Weekend since a while. Participate already like back in 2018. Then join the organization team in Berlin a few months after, and the beauty of Startup Weekend is really to see so many ideas, popping up from nothing and just really building something concrete in 54 hours. And especially in those times, you really need new and innovative ideas. So really looking forward to see many things happening. And with this, I pass the word to Tamai.
Hey everybody, thanks a lot, Mario. I'm Tamai from Saarbrücken. I'm quite new to the Startup Weekend community. I've been running the first Startup Weekend of my life last year, and I got super excited about everything what happened there, how people could just create like the framework of a company within 45 hours, 54. So I was super excited when I saw the idea from Techstars to do a global startup weekend on COVID-19, and I'm super happy to be part of this great team working on this episode. So I pass it back to Lingy.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Tamai. A round of applause for everyone. We'll do this virtually. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll just go like this. If that didn't excite you, I don't know what will, because it's been a pleasure to work alongside each and every one of those organizers that are scattered around Germany to be able to bring this event to you. So thank you very much. I'm looking at you right now on my screen. Thank you all very much for your introductions. They're a superstar team with very in-depth knowledge about how these startup weekends actually roll, what's expected. We've got a cross between facilitators, mentors, volunteer leads, you name it. With the exception of, you probably heard it many times before, this is the first time ever that it's gone completely online. So it's a trial. One thing I didn't mention is that we've got about 60 to 70 different countries that are participating worldwide, that are running their own startup weekend as well. And so we're lucky enough to be here in Germany, running this event for everyone who has signed up. So it's great to have you along. Thank you very much to the organizing team and for the sleepless nights to come, leading all the way up to the weekend and also through the weekend. It's going to be a great ride. All right, cool. I'm just keeping an eye on time here because I'm trying to balance it all out and get everyone back to their Tuesday night. But essentially what I thought we might run is what to expect coming up. So a couple of the key milestones that you'll need to keep in mind leading up to the event, a couple of the key things to watch out during the event, and then also we'll talk a little bit about what to expect after as well. But first things first, ideas. Those who have ideas, if you've been through a hackathon before or you've taken part in one, you'll know that the ideas are crucial to be able to get this event forward, move it forward. If you've got ideas, you should have received the email by now, leading with a little bit of a Google form that basically expresses what the idea is. If you're the idea owner, put your name in it, your email as well. What we'll do as organizers is we'll amalgamate all of that together so that you can see the ideas, and hopefully you'll have some that you're attracted to, some that you might not think that you can contribute towards as well, but that's okay. It's all about having a bit of a read first, figuring out where your interest lies and what skills you like to develop. Because along with being able to connect online and virtually for this particular event, it's all about learning as well, particularly if this is your first startup weekend ever. If you've been here before, you'll know what it's all about. So, ideas submissions. That is going to be closing off Wednesday this week, tomorrow at 11:59 p.m., right before midnight. One of the organizing team, Tamai, you would have seen, he will be watching that like a hawk. So make sure you get your ideas in for it to be considered for this weekend. That's the first deadline that you'll want to know from a participant point of view. The second one up is our kickoff. So come Friday night, fast forward. Once you've figured out what the ideas are, what we'll do is we'll post it so you can review it on the Thursday. And then on Friday, hopefully everyone would have joined Discord by then. So Discord is a platform, if you haven't used it before, where we'll all be communicating. We've loaded up quite a few people who have been on there already. So it's great to see familiar faces. Make sure you orientate yourself around so that you've become familiar with how to use it. It's basically a platform where you get to post everything that you want. If you have any questions for particular mentors, introduce yourself. If you don't know anyone and you've signed up as an individual, and also if you've signed up as a team as well, it's nice to introduce yourself along in these channels. So get familiar with that tool because that's what we're going to be using. So once you've submitted your idea, you'll have basically a form where you'll see all the ideas, get a sense and feel for what people are working on. And then on Friday, again, you'll be working your way through Discord, networking virtually on Discord, meeting different people, and also meeting some of the mentors as well. We've got top mentors, those with very, very great skills. I'm talking business development skills, developer skills, those who have a background in team forming and team dynamics, because no doubt, whenever you come together in a pressure cooker situation like this, it's bound to happen, right? How do you actually work your way around some of these difficult aspects of forming a business, essentially? So everyone always goes through that. We'll have mentors to help guide you through, not less every single one of these familiar faces around this organizing team will also be there to help you out. So once that happens on Friday night, what we'll do is we'll be launching another event just like this. It'll be a YouTube live event where we'll all check back in. 6 o'clock is when we're going to be launching. So straight after that work or that day off, or if you've been around walking outside, hopefully just limiting yourself to one form of exercise. We'll check back in at 6 o'clock on the dot, where we will be welcoming everyone who's signed up and participate. Along, we will host a opening like this. And then from there, we'll talk a little bit more about the flow of the weekend, answer any questions that you have on the go, and just make sure that we sail the ship off in the right direction. So make sure that we have everyone on board. So that's essentially where we're going to go towards Friday. Friday night, you'll be working with your teams. Again, team formation, everything will happen on Discord, and again, before the event starts. So make sure that you do log in online and that you check some of these tools that will be sending these email communications out to you. You'll be working essentially on Friday night on introducing yourself to a team if it's a new team, figuring out what the roadmap for the weekend would look like. What do you hope to achieve by Friday night? Having a solid 5-6 hours. You might choose to work through to midnight even, but we'll leave that up to you. So what that looks like, what you hope to achieve. Saturday morning, come 9 o'clock, the organizing team, the friendly faces that you just saw, will link straight back in. We'll try to host another event to kick the day off and bring everyone back in. We want a sense of people wanting to be together, even though we're apart. So we'll come back in Saturday morning, kick it all off together, work our way through towards lunch. Usually at a startup weekend, we'd usually provide these lunches, but for the purpose of this event, you will be making lunch from the comfort of your own home. So it's a bring your own / make your own lunch. Make sure that you're fed and you've got some snacks along the way. Work all the way through. Again, we'll have mentor sessions that we'll make available and make publicized to you. That will be in the morning session. First off the top of my head, it's about 10:30 to about 12 o'clock. So we'll have a session in the morning where you'll be able to type any requests or anything that you have on that Discord platform that we were talking about before. And then also a mentor session, an open session where you can write any issues that you come up with throughout the weekend as a team. And we'll have mentors there in the afternoon session as well that will be able to log straight in and help you out there. Again, dinner time. Hopefully you've got a partner, someone at home. If not, you'll be logging straight out, putting it on mute and running to the supermarket and have some dinner. Again, make yourself. And then once you're all fed up, the night session will start. We'll be around, essentially. The organizing team will be around, floating around on Discord, and you'll see us either on the side. If you've got any questions, we'll be there to answer any of them as we go along for the weekend. So Saturday night, we'll keep progressing and we'll link back in come Sunday. So work as late as you'd like. I recommend getting some sleep. Just if anyone's a normal human being, please make sure you get that 7-8 hours sleep. We'll log back in on Sunday morning. What you'll essentially be working towards is creating some type of video of everything that you've done throughout the weekend. Friday night is typically your problem figuring out what the validation would look like, what you're actually trying to tackle. When it comes around to Saturday, it's figuring out who can I reach out to help validate my idea. And you'll be starting a prototype as well. And again, what you're trying to do here is sell the promise and not the product. So for example, if you've come up with an app that helps COVID-19, everything that we do is in light of COVID-19. So ideas to help humanity propel forward, essentially. If you create an app, figure out what a wireframe would look like. And if you can take one of the judges, which I'll explain a little bit later, if you can take them through the journey of how it would actually work without building it, give them an idea of what you're aiming to do, what problem you're trying to solve, and how you'd actually go about doing it. What it actually looks like is really important as well. So if you can figure out all of that, come Sunday, what we'll ask you to do is record it. I've seen a bunch of different examples around hackathons that have recorded it within their screens and have different people jump on, or you can have one person recording the final version. What we asked is that you submit it midday on Sunday. Midday on Sunday is where you will need to have that video in. Just off the top of my head, I believe it's a 2-minute video, but we can check back in. So 2-minute video, no longer than that, to submit in your idea, figure out what the problem is, the validation that you've done, how many people you've actually reached out to and what it actually looks like, and how the world would essentially be better afterwards. Once you've figured all that out, submit it into a video 12 o'clock. From there, that BYO lunch comes back. Hopefully you'll have some time in the afternoon to take a break, grab some food to eat, while our judges will then come in and have a look at some of these videos. So I mentioned that we'll touch on that in a bit. The judges are essentially going to have a couple of criteria to be able to figure out and I guess rank, figure out where the teams currently are. And this goes around those things that we just talked about, right? It's problem definition. Did you actually figure that there was a problem here? And how you explained it. The second part of that is validation as well. Who did you actually reach out to? We do encourage people to reach out. Again, keep that social distance. There's many different ways that you could actually validate those problems that you come up with. You know, picking up the phone or figuring, what is it, a form online, an online form, and sending that out to those relevant parties. So figuring that stuff out, that's what they'll be judging on. Execution and design. So what does it actually look like? I think that's a really important aspect. You know, what does it feel? What does the MVP or minimum viable product actually look like? And again, just to remind you, you're trying to sell the promise and not necessarily the product. We don't expect anyone to build anything and have something ready to go to market by the end of this weekend. But what Startup Weekend is great at doing is providing the spark. And also getting to know some co-founders while you're at it. Why not network as best you can with the situation that we're currently in during the Startup Weekend. So problem definition, validation, execution, and design. Impact is going to be a very, very important part of this particular vertical, being COVID-19. Any ideas that help humanity get through COVID-19 and the impact that it will provide is going to be crucial. So any way that you can demonstrate impact for your idea is going to be valuable for the judges to be able to judge on. So provide that number in as well. There's a couple of other things around feasibility, but we'll be able to fill you in and we'll take you through that journey on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't want to give away too much because our time is nearly up and this is meant to be a AMA after all. So I know that they've got a whole bunch of different questions lined up. That's essentially the roadmap for the weekend. Hopefully it's answered a few of your questions. And then what we'll do is we'll go over to a couple of questions. What I might do is I'll pass it back over to Chris, because Chris would have been looking up some of these questions as I've explaining. So Chris, I'll hand it over to you for now to read some of those.
Yes, so thank you so much, Lingy, for this very detailed introduction. I hope we still have questions, especially as people, no chats. Come on, guys. This is the time to ask your questions. This is going to be great. Maybe there is a little bit of delay in YouTube actually streaming this out. So we'll just hang on here, wait for a few questions. Come in, we are open. Also, while we're at it, feel free to tweet about it, spread the word. #OnlineSW is our hashtag. any questions? If it's not now, you can also put them into Discord at any point in time. But until then, maybe Lingy has another story to share up until there is any question.
Okay, so I'm just catching up on all the different comments that the organizing team has made in the back end. So thank you very much, organizing team. If we don't have too many questions on this YouTube live stream, what we'll do is we will come back in. My biggest thing is for everyone to join Discord, know who is behind the scenes and figure out these friendly faces, and also introduce yourself on Discord. It's great to be able to know who you are, a little bit about your background and what you're looking forward to. So I'm going to pass it straight back to Chris to see if there's anything else. If not, I'm going to open the floor to the organizing team to have their departing thoughts around what they hope leading up to the weekend. But first, Chris.
Thank you so much, Lingy. Much appreciated. As far as I can see, there is no question, so you pretty much filled everyone up to the maximum. So thank you so much for that. Closing thoughts, we look forward to anyone. Maybe one thing that also the communities that I'm in often puts in is please be a nice person. We're all in this together, so please be a reasonable human being. Be nice to each other. And that's it. Any other open last final words from the organizing team?
I just want to add to that a very good point, Christian, that please spread the word in your family, friends network, wherever you think you might have people, like-minded people who would like to participate. As Lingy mentioned, the submission of the idea is open until tomorrow evening, Wednesday evening. And I think the registration for normal participants will be open until Thursday, so you will get the chance to register until Thursday. We hope to have as many participants as possible, and that you will enjoy the weekend as much as we will, I'm pretty sure. Anyone else?
Nice. I think we are good. Hey, look at that. That is our first live. The tech check has been done. A very long introduction has been done of how and what to expect leading up to it. The team I'm looking at right now are very excited to have you all along here. I think my mum has logged in as one of the participants who are viewing us live. So hi, Mum. I told you not to get on here. Hey, look, thank you very much for the time. If you're watching this later, if you have any other questions, if you've watched this video later, jump onto Discord. The organizing team will be able to answer any questions that you have. We basically want to make sure that you have all the information that you can have leading up to the event, which will make the event go a lot smoother. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you very much, organizing team, for all being superstars. And hopefully we'll catch you on Friday night. More ideas coming in. Make sure to subscribe, share the word around so that everyone can participate, and we'll see you then. Peace, team.